Hi folks, this is video blog number 22. Hi, I'm Don Schaefer and I'm so excited to be with you again this week. It's an exciting day for me. We've got a wedding. My nephew Doug is getting married, which is always a good thing, and so that's why I'm dressed up. But I want to take a little bit of time here to talk to you guys a little bit about what we're doing and the direction we're headed in. We're talking about being successful and the fact that there are various steps involved in being successful. And I know we talked in the beginning weeks of the fact that you can be successful in one area, but there's many areas that a person has to work on in their life to be successful. And we liken them onto like steps, the fact that you take various steps as you reach areas of success. And we started off with talking about the very important step, and that was self-image. That you have to develop an image of yourself being successful. And that's where we get a lot of help from other people. People that talk to us, tell us that, hey, hey Don, you're a great guy, I see you doing good things. What it does, it changes my image of myself so that I see myself doing things in a good way. And that's where in life, in your family, whatever it might be, you can be a tremendous treasure to that family by helping them get a good, healthy self-image of themselves. But you also have to have that image to be successful. So that's a very, very important step, and that's the first step that we talked about. Okay, last week we talked a little bit about relationships. We talked about the fact that you have to develop good, healthy relationships and how that whatever you put out there comes back to you, and that's what develops relationships. We use a little story that I like to tell about a young boy going out in the backyard and screaming out, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. And all of a sudden he hears back, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. And he runs inside the house and he says to his mother, Mother, there's some big bully out there that's saying he hates me. And mother, being a little wise to what had happened, said, why don't you go out there and say that you love him? So he goes out there and says, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then he hears back, I love you, I love you, I love you. And that's the way relationships work. What we put out there comes back to us. And that's where if we can get ourselves into a place of looking for good in people and trying to compliment them and share our love towards them, what we will have done there is developed a relationship. It can be inside the home. It can be at the workplace. It can be at the grocery store. You can develop relationships wherever you go. But to be successful in life, you have to develop a good relationship. And this week, we want to touch on another area that is important also, and that is you need to set a goal. And we've talked about this before. Goals have to be set in a person's life to be successful. If you have anything that you're dreaming about and wanting to do in your life, you have a special area that you want to achieve in your life, you need to have a target or a goal to achieve that. You need to have something written down. And when I talk about a goal, I mean being able to write down, say, hey, I'm going to be doing this by, say, July, and I'm going to write this down on a piece of paper. And then a lot of times people say, well, I've done that before. I've done that before. Well, what happens a lot of times, we never write a plan to achieve that goal. We can write it down and say, yeah, we've got ourselves a goal. But without a plan, you really don't have anything that's going to help you get to that point. It's almost like saying I'm going to California without a roadmap. What a plan does, it says I'm going to plan my way. The areas that I'm going to go through, what I'm going to do in certain circumstances to achieve that. I break it down into smaller goals. But we need to have a goal. I can't emphasize that enough. And so many times people, they live with self-doubt and all this, and they don't take the steps necessary to write these goals down. Well, our society as it is right now, over 80% of the people in our society have never written a goal and never set it up and broke it down into something that was achievable. And then they say, they got all kinds of excuses for why they don't achieve things in life. Well, a lot of it is they're letting the opportunity slip through their fingers. And I say through your fingers because that's where you hold the pen that you write down your goals with. It's in your fingers. It comes from the mind. It goes through the fingers. It goes on a piece of paper. But that is powerful. And we were designed by our Creator to operate in that way. He had a plan. He put it in writing. It's the same thing in our lives in a much smaller way. But we also need to be able to put a plan on paper and get ourselves a goal. We must set some goals. I want to thank you folks, and I'm hoping this is helpful. I thank you again for all the comments and everything that comes back to us. And I want to wish you a great week, and we will see you next week. Thank you.